Hello everyone, welcome to Technical Campus, and in this video we will going to discuss about integration by parts. So whenever we will require to find out the integration or product of any two functions, then we will use the concept of integration by parts. Suppose we have a function suppose we have two functions u and v, and both are the function of x. Okay, these both function u and v are the function of x. Okay, then if we want to calculate the integration of u and v, and we have to use the term dx because u and v are the function of x. And if we want to calculate the integration or product of u and v, then the formula is u into integration of v dx minus integration of du dx integration of v dx into dx. So we can write that the integral of product of, let us write this formula in theoretical ways. So it will be the integral of product of two functions. Both these functions must be the function of same variable. Here u and v are the function of same variable x. Okay, so both these function must be the function of same variable. So you can write the integral of product of two function is equal to first function into integral of second function minus integral of differentiation of first function into integral of second function. So we can write the above formula in theoretical way such that the integral of the product of two function u and v is equal to the first function and integral of second function minus integral of differentiation of first function and integral of second function. Okay, so this is the formula we have to use in order to perform integration by parts. So let us understand by the concept of integration, that is integration means antiderivative or inverse of differentiation. So we will use the concept of inverse of differentiation in order to derive the formula of integration by parts. Let us see how we can derive the formula of integration by parts from the product rule of differentiation. So according to the product rule of differentiation, product of differentiation of two functions f of x and g of x will be equal to f of x into d dx of g of x plus g of x into d dx of the first function, that is f of x. Now if we integrate both sides, this will be result in f of x into g of x, because we have already studied about the property that the integration of differentiation of any function is equal to the function itself. So if we integrate the differentiation of the product of two function, we will get the product of two function. Now so this side will be equal to f of x into d dx of function g of x plus g of x into d dx of function f of x. Okay, now if we separately write the integration of this function and this function, it will be f of x into d dx of g of x. So as this is the function of x, so we have to write dx. Now for this function it will be integration of g of x into d dx of f of x into dx. Okay, now if we bring this term in this side, so it will be f of x into g of x minus integration of g of x into d dx of function f of x dx is equal to integration of function f of x into d dx of the function g of x. We have just bring this term into this side, so this plus will be minus in this side and this term will be as it is. Okay, now just suppose that f of x is equal to u. Okay, just suppose that f of x is equal to u and d dx of g of x is equal to v. Okay, so we can write gx is equal to, from this we have assumed that d dx of the function g of x is equal to v. So from this we can write gx is equal to integration of v dx, because if we take the term dx in this side, so we can write gx is equal to v dx. So if we replace our assumption in this equation, it will be integration of, let us write it. So if we replace the function f of x is equal to u and d dx of gx is equal to v, so that integration of v dx is equal to g of x. So if we replace all this term in the above equation, it will be integration of u v dx is equal to u into integration of v dx, okay, minus integration of du dx into integration of the second function v dx. So you can easily derive the formula of integration by parts using the concept of the product rule of differentiation. So let us learn some more things in order to use the formula of integration by parts. Okay, so we have learned that while we are using the term integration by parts, we have to partly differentiate and integrate the function. Okay, we have to consider one function as first function, another as a second function, because in the definition of integration by parts, the formula is u v dx is equal to u into integration of v dx minus integration of differentiation of first function into integration of second function whole integral. So in the formula of integration by parts, we have just learned that if we want to find out the integration of product of two functions, then we have to consider one function as first function and another function as second function. So there is a prescribed rule in mathematics to choose the first function. You cannot choose randomly first function among the product of two functions. Suppose we have a function x into sin x. So if we want to calculate the integration of the product of function x and sin x, then in order to apply this formula, you have to consider any one function as first function and another function as second function, because we have learned the formula by first function into integration of second function. So you have to know the rule that which function you have to consider as a first function and second function. So for that, there is a prescribed rule in integration that we have to choose the first function by the rule of LIATE. So what is LIATE? Let us learn about LIATE and then we will solve one example in order to learn the use of LIATE in integration by parts. So LIATE means the term or the function which came first in this letter LIATE will be taken as a first function. So the I means inverse trigonometric function. Inverse trigonometric function. And the letter L stand for logarithmic function. A stand for algebraic function. T T stands for simple trigonometric function, trigonometric function, and E stands for exponential function, So inverse trigonometric function means sine inverse x, cos inverse x. All these inverse trigonometric functions are under this I, and logarithmic means log x, 1 by log x, x square, x cube, x. Trigonometric means simple sin x, cos x, and exponential means e to the power x, e to the power minus x, e to the power 2x. All these things that came under exponential function. So suppose we want to calculate the integration of function x into sin x. Suppose we want to calculate the integration of the product of function x into sin x. So according to the rule of LIATE, that we have to choose the first function as the function which come first in the letter LIATE. Okay, so according to the rule of LIATE, in this integration we have to consider the algebraic function, that is x. Here x is algebraic function, so we will consider it as a first function, because this product x into sin x contain two functions. One is algebraic function, another is trigonometric function. But if we go through the rule of LIATE, here the algebraic word a come first and then t. Sin x is a simple trigonometric function. According to rule of LIATE, if we move from I to L, then the letter a come first, so a for algebraic, so we will consider x as a first function and trigonometric t as a second function. Here sin x is a trigonometric function, so we will consider it as a second function. So let us take more example in order to learn the concept of LIATE. So the term is LIATE. So suppose we want to calculate the integration of x square into e to the power x. So you can see there is a two function, one is algebraic function and another is exponential function. But according to the rule of LIATE, here in order to choose the first function, we have to consider x square as a first function, because x square came first in LIATE, as this is a algebraic, and then we will consider ex, e to the power x, as a second function, that is exponential function. Suppose we have a problem, integration of x log x. So in this case we will consider log x as a first function, because L come first in this arrangement of LIATE, so we will consider log x as a first function and x as a second function. So here u will be log x and v will be x. So this is the way to choose the first function and second function. So let us solve one example in order to learn the concept of integration by parts. So suppose we want to integrate the function x sine 3x dx. Okay, so by the rule of LIATE, we have to consider x as a first function and sine 3x as a second function, because LIATE, here the algebraic term, that is x, come first, so we will take it as a first function, that is u, and the trigonometric term came after a, so it will be considered as a second function, that is v. So if we apply the rule of integration by parts, so u into v dx is equal to, let us write the formula, u into v dx, integration of v dx, minus integration of differentiation of the first function into integration of second function, okay, dx. So if we apply the formula of integration by parts, so here the first function is x, so it will be x into integration of sine 3x dx minus integration of differentiation of first function, that is x, into integration of second function, that is sine 3x, and dx. Okay, so it will be minus x, because integration of sine 3x will be equal to cos 3x minus cos 3x by 3, so we have taken the minus here, and it will be dx by x will be 1 into, and this integration will be minus cos 3x by 3. We have to integrate this whole term dx, so it will be minus 1 by 3 x cos 3x, and this minus will be plus 1 by 3 will be constant, so integration of cos 3x dx. I am erasing this part, okay. So it will be minus 1 by 3 x cos 3x plus 1 by 3 is a constant, and integration of cos 3x will be sin 3x by 3 plus c. Okay, so the answer is minus 1 by 3 x plus 1 by 9 sin 3x plus a constant c. So this is the answer of integration x sin 3x. Okay, so we have learned the use of LIATE. So let us solve one more example. X square e to the power x. So you can see we have to consider this term as a first function because this is algebraic term and this is exponential, so this will be a second function because in the letter LIATE a come first and then e. So according to this arrangement x should be the first function. So if we apply the formula of integration by parts, it will be x square into integration of e to the power x dx minus integration of differentiation of the first function, that is x square, into integration of second function, that is ex into dx. So it will be x square and this integration will be e to the power x minus differentiation of this will be 2x into integration of this will be e to the power x. Now you can see in this case there is another format which is same as this format, but here in the place of x square there is x. So we have to apply integration by parts in this term, okay, because if we write this term it will be ex into x dx. Here we have got an arrangement in which we have to calculate the integration of product of function x and ex. So this is a algebraic, so we will consider this as a first function and this will be the second function. So if we separately integrate it by the formula integration by parts, then it will be, so it will be remain as it is minus, so let's take 2 outside. So if we take this first function, so first function into integration of second function, that is ex dx minus integration of differentiation of first function, that is dx by dx into integration of second function ex dx dx. Okay, now this will be, so let us erase this part. So whenever while integrating you will get any integration of product, then we have to apply the formula of integration by parts. Okay, so it will be x square e to the power x minus 2 into this will be x ex minus this will be 1 integration of 1 into this will be e to the power x dx. Okay, so this will be x square e to the power x minus 2 into x e to the power x minus this will be integration of e to the power x, that is e to the power x. Okay, and there is a constant plus c. Okay, so it will be, the answer is x square e to the power x minus 2 into x e x minus e to the power x plus c. So this is the result of integration x square e to the power x. So we have learned the concept of integration by parts and we have also learned the use of the term LIATE. Okay, so let us quickly revise all these things, that whenever we want to calculate the integration or product of two functions, we have to use the concept of integration by parts. And in the formula of integration by parts there is a two term, that is first function and second function, and in order to consider the first function we have to follow the rule of LIATE, that is we have to choose the first function as the function which came first in the letter LIATE. Okay, so here you can see in this case we have to find out the integration of product of two functions, one is algebraic function and one is exponential function. So according to the rule of LIATE, the term a came first, so algebraic term will be considered as a first function and e exponential came after a, so we will consider e as a second function. So this is the rule of performing integration by parts. So let us learn some more things about integration and then we will solve the example from previous GATE paper.